20 years. I've been playing Monster Hunter for 20 years. I've played over 7,000 hours of gameplay across all games. I played Monster Hunter on PS2. I played Monster Hunter Freedom on PSP. I bought a Wii to play Monster Hunter Tri, and I never, not once, have enjoyed the smaller minutia aspects of the game. I played them all. I beat them to completion. I did it. I told the test of time. I have not once enjoyed the patience required to get into Monster Hunter. Not once. As a matter of fact, I said it indefinitely. This is a while ago. You weren't here for the conversation because it happened between me and my dad. I said, do you think this game will ever be popular? He said, if people learn patience. And I said, I hate that. I'm stupid. I think if they took out the hunt part of Monster Hunter, this game will be perfect. Kind of like Devil May Cry 3. And he said, well, that's kind of the core gameplay of what it is. Why would they get rid of that? It's the same issue of what happened with Dark Souls 3. When you take away the essential part of what the game is, when you take away the core aspect of the hunt, you still have Monster Hunter. I'm seeing a lot of people complain that Monster Hunter doesn't have the hunting aspect within it. And I think that's good. And this is coming from somebody who's a boomer when it comes to Monster Hunter. I'm 28 years old, and I've been playing Monster Hunter for quite some time. Played Freedom Unite, got to G Rank, back when everything was called G Rank. I played Frontier. I paid to play Frontier, and I play it now that it's free. You can play on a rain server. I played Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. I played 3 Ultimate. I played Generations Ultimate. I played every single Monster Hunter game. 4 Ultimate. I played all of them. And I'm telling you this right now. My favorite parts of starting a new Monster Hunter game are the beginning parts. Always growing in power, getting strong, the escalation, and then getting to that end game grind. While it is fun, it takes a lot of time, and a lot of people don't have a lot of time. There's so many other games out there, so many. It's hard to keep my attention for so long. I don't like Animal Crossing. I definitely hate The Sims, and I don't want to play a game that does not reward my time. And the reward for Monster Hunter time is a higher skill ceiling. It is being better by the game fundamentally. That is what you learn. You learn how to trap, hunt. You learn how to track creatures. You got that in World with learning how to pick up the tracks, and it simulated how it was. You felt like a hunter picking things off of trees. And in Wilds, they took that away. And I've been seeing people complain indefinitely that the game is more accessible to people. That is not a complaint. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, actually. You are complaining that a game is now more wildly successful by virtue of it being easier and more accessible to casuals. You are upset by the broadening of the game. Now, I didn't contribute to this very well. I discovered this now. I may have misrepresented my video. So this is called the casualization of Monster Hunter. Sitting at 10K views right now. Not really anything crazy. But I'm noticing a lot of comments are saying, I completely understand. I hate the new Monster Hunter. I agree with you. I didn't state in this video that I hate the new Monster Hunter. I said I miss the old aesthetic. I even have a section here, it's chaptered to the Monster Hunter boomers. It's a big section explaining why you shouldn't hate the new game. It's chaptered, by the way. I even have my closing thoughts here explaining that you should enjoy the game despite it missing what was essential for efficiency. I stated, that which was often lost with efficiency was often essential in the first place. So a game called Monster Hunter, you hunt, you track. You don't do that in Monster Hunter Wilds. You just basically kill creatures. You're a demon. You get to play as an anime protagonist, essentially. And the game makes me feel like Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling. That's what it makes me feel like. That's what the game makes me feel like. It makes me feel like I'm in an anime and I feel like the greatest character of all time. Then I have 4 other people. I feel like I'm in a hunting party in an isekai. I feel like I've been isekai'd. I'm deeply immersed in it. That's how I feel. I feel so into it. There's so many other mechanics. Fishing, using my capture rod or using my capture net to fish, doing that, going around on my sacred, going through many different areas, fighting creatures out in the wilds, making a quest out of it so I can have people come join me. That feels fun. I spent 14 hours in the overworld of Monster Hunter Wilds. 14 straight hours going around just dicking around and hunting. I've never had more fun in a video game in my entire life. It didn't force me to get unimmersed or out of the game. It just kept me within it. Old Monster Hunter was at a time, it was a product of its time. And I love it for that. It was a product of what made it beautiful. Every single aspect of it, from you grilling meat, oh yeah, whoa, so tasty. Love that song, by the way. From the aspects of you doing slow methodical movements, your positioning mattered, your timing mattered. And to old Monster Hunter fans, the new games feel childish. Why do they have this? But you should be happy that your niche game is getting a remake. Realistically, I'm not gonna lie to you. Monster Hunter was our niche little baby. People won't understand what we enjoyed about Monster Hunter, but they will enjoy Monster Hunter, and that's beautiful. It's great. I love that. Same way people won't play Dark Souls 1. They're not gonna replay Dark Souls 1. They might start at Dark Souls 3, or they might even start at Elden Ring, and it's a completely different game completely. But it's still the core root of what it is. The company is successful. They're doing fantastic, and it works. Most companies do a rebrand and it sucks. It's the worst thing ever. It is garbage and nobody enjoys it. But I think that if you're complaining about this, if you're actively mad that Monster Hunter is more accessible, reevaluate your stance of everything, because the game is doing sensational. It is doing phenomenal work. And yes, there are a lot of core features that we are missing. We don't have the farm anymore. We don't have... Poogie is in one specific area. The game doesn't have a loading screens. You're complaining that the game is not more methodical. Back in the day, Monster Hunter, for what all it's worth, was a game that had zero competition for others in its genre. There was no Dark Souls. There was just Monster Hunter. And there was very few Monster Hunting games. And because they realized they wanted the game to be cooperative, they moved the game. Instead of Monster Hunter DOS being on PS2 and getting back on a console, they immediately moved Monster Hunter Freedom to play wherever. Monster Hunter Freedom. Play the game wherever. Japanese people would play that on the train with each other. They would have fun. There would be camaraderie. They would exchange friend links, and that would be fun for them. And then they'd connect to their internet, and it'd be fun. And on the commute, they would play video games with each other. And they would link up locally by LAN. It was a beautiful thing. It was amazing. And they would do a few hunts before work, and they would do a few hunts after work, and maybe they go to internet cafes and play Monster Hunter on the PSP. They charge it, and they keep going. Then Monster Hunter Freedom 2 got out there, and then Monster Hunter Freedom Unite got out there. That's what happened. That's the beauty of what happened. And in order to circumvent the boomers being mad at me and doubting my skill in this game, starting Tuesday on this channel, I will play through Monster Hunter Freedom, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, and Monster Hunter, if I can get the one on the Switch to work, I'll play through Generations Ultimate. I'll play through those three. And if we get enough people, I'll play through Monster Hunter on the PS2 and Monster Hunter DOS. I'll do that to make it a fun little adventure for us, to show how old Monster Hunter was. And I tried to play those games off on my own tangent side, and Monster Hunter Wilds feels so much better because this is important. Is very important. I'm stupid. I know it seems weird to say that about myself. It's not a degrading content. It's not me saying something degrading about myself. No, it's not me being humiliation for content. No. What's important is I like things that are easy. I like instant ramen. I like minute rice. I like DoorDash. I enjoy when a car can automatically drive me someplace. I like when fast food exists around me. I like things that are easy for me to do. I enjoy a streamlined way of doing things. Monster Hunter Wilds is the most streamlined Monster Hunter experience while still keeping the core aesthetic of what Monster Hunter is. It doesn't keep the same goofiness, the same methodicalness. It doesn't keep the same minutia of what the game is. But you complaining about the game, you complaining that it's not what you had when you grew up. Oh, the new hunters don't understand what it's like to... Great. It's the same way I feel about people complaining that kids have it easy nowadays. Oh, they have iPads and phones and stuff of that nature. Well, that's what we worked for. You should be proud as a Monster Hunter boomer, same as me, that we know how to teach these new players the best way to do it. Back in the day, we didn't know how many carves Fatalis had. Back in the day, we had to learn the correct areas of how to do it. When they added the hold button, and we didn't have to continually click the carve button right here, continually click it, we had to continually click this. Now you can just hold it. When you get a fancy item, there's a special indicator to know you got a fancy item and everybody knows. That's amazing. Back in the day, it was a toss in the air. Remember back in the day, cutting off the Rathalos tail. Cutting off the tail of the creature in order to see if I got a ruby or a plate, just to make the legs of the armor. I'm trying to make the chest plate, and I need a one plate doing 17 quests just to leave after cutting the tail off, and then not getting it. Oh, it was horrifying. It was bad. It was so bad. It was an old skill. We didn't have to figure out how skills worked, figure out which armor rating and armor pieces worked. It was difficult. Everything was difficult about the game. Every piece of the game was dramatically, and I mean dramatically, difficult. But I did it. I persevered. I put my right foot first, my left foot first, and I walked through and I muggled through the game. I did it. Stop complaining that the game is easier. And I know a lot of people say this on the people that say it's easier side. They say, well, it's easier because, it's easy because you grew up playing Monster Hunter, so you're used to it. Wrong again. Somebody in there, another room, played Monster Hunter, hadn't touched it. All they do is play Animal Crossing and Sims. That's it. That's all they play. They beat low rank and high rank in Monster Hunter Wilds in 4 days. They beat it, all of it. Every single piece of it. All of it. Only issue they have in the game is going against the spiders because they look creepy. That's it. What weapon did they use? Lance. Oh, that's a laugh and a half. They use Lance, and that the Lance you can guard. Yeah. The game is easy. If you listen to a tutorial, if you go through training, if you read, if you figure out positioning. They don't play fighting games. They don't play action. None of that. They don't do nothing. Not a piece of it. They only play building games. They play Power Wash Simulator. It's one of their favorite games. This is important. This is very, 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 very important. Stop complaining that the game is successful. It's the stupidest argument I've ever heard. They'll never understand what it was like. Perfect. Don't praise time-wasting mechanics. Be nostalgic for them. Be happy that the game allowed you to learn how to paintball, how to make pitfall traps, how to carry a book of combos, how to do those things. I'm happy I learned it. I'm angry that I had to. I hate it deeply. And I'm happy that nobody has to go through the pain and torture I went through. I suffered so they can have an easier way of doing it. They discovered what made people get out of the game and where people dropped off at, because that's the point where all of my friends said, I can't do this. It's taking me too long. Because the average person, me included, doesn't like wasting time. It's the only currency you don't get back. It's so much easier if you can make the game significantly more efficient and more streamlined. Stop complaining that the game is easy, please.
I'm your Nick at night, be my loyalty low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.